Well, is anybody going to show up? Testing 1, 7, 12, 3, 2100, 11, 1122 years later. Somebody showed up. Ah. Hey, Carol. You're all the y'all. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How's your day going, Carol? I was going to play some music while we waited for people to show up. Signal strength is not very good. So we shall see. How much of your plumbing did you lose, Carol? I got lucky. I mean, we lost, well, a lot, but it was all pretty easy to deal with. And actually, we didn't lose a lot. It's we lost the main line coming to the house, but that was easy to fix. And then lost some stuff under the house. I think I'm gonna move this stream to later in the day because right now everybody shows up late, and then people start coming in at about, I don't know, about an hour or so, 45 minutes to an hour after I start it. Or I think what I need to do is just pre-record the studies and then put them on here and post them, and then let people come in and watch them whenever they want to. Do you own your home, Carol, or is it a rental? Or turn the camera on again. Cover up. I forgot the cold curtain to my rest of my room. I was doing the pre-recorded deals for a while, but it just seemed like people would rather have the live, which people want to come into the lives for the chat or whatever. The ones that show up late, they're in here for the after chat. Also, you got to pay for fixing the plumbing. Are your kids where they can help you get it fixed or anything? According to that deal up there, I am barely connected to the internet. No. I've never noticed that indicator before. I mean, you can just hang out and chat back and forth. I mean, it is public, right? I did do it right. Oh, okay. Just getting to it. When I went to get the stuff to fix mine, the people in line ahead of me, they literally bought all new PVC. I guess they just decided to just run it all. If I was replumbing a house, so there's no way I'd run PVC. I'd run PEX pipe. PEX pipe is cheaper. It's cheaper. It's faster. Whole 9 yards. The pipe itself is inexpensive. I'm on live stream. What you need?
I needed her to open this jar that she literally went like this to.
Oh. Well, at least he can help you out with your plumbing or whatever. Anyway, I was saying the pipes cheap. The fittings are a little expensive, but you don't have to worry about stuff blowing out. Hey, Aid. Me and Carol were talking, and I'm probably just going to start pre-recording these and posting them. May do them as a premiere or whatever, but instead of doing the live stream, that way people can come and go watch it whenever they want to. I know some of the people that come in, they've got other stuff going on or whatever right now, but do the premiere on the Bible study and then do an after chat or whatever. Well, the gray, the Plex or whatever, that stuff wasn't any good. How many you two got? Are y'all familiar with what the 21st chapter of John talks about? it's the when he's talking about Jesus, talking to Peter about whether or not he loves him and how he's going to die. I was reading this, and it's I've understood it, but it was an epiphany of great magnitude to me. I guess because the things you learn when you're young, like they come into light when you get older, and I used to think it was a story about Peter having to make up for denying him 3 times, and it's not. He wasn't making up for it. I mean, he denied him 3 times. He asked him 3 times. But the conclusion of the story has nothing to do with that. I'm not going to drag you two through the whole thing. I'll do the long study, and then I'll post it, and you'll come back and watch. But give y'all some insight, so when you're listening to it, you can be like, oh, wow, so y'all be ahead of everybody else on the homework. But Jesus showed himself. The guys were out in a boat fishing. Told them to throw the net over here. The blah blah blah. Peter swam back to shore because he was excited that it was Jesus, and it was actually John the disciple that recognized him on the beach. We'll get to the good part. Anyway, he said to him a 3rd time, "Do you love me?" And he said, and then Peter said to him, "Lord, you know all things. You know that I love you." And Jesus said to him, "Feed my sheep. Most assuredly, I say to you, when you were younger, you girded yourself and walked where you wished. But when you are old, you will stretch out your hands, and another will gird you and carry you where you do not wish." This he spoke, signifying by what death he would glorify God. And when he had spoken this, he said to him, "Follow me." And he didn't mean down the beach. He didn't mean we're going for a walk. He specifically told Peter, "You have stated that you love me more than you love these people. So follow me, live the way I've taught you to live. Follow me." And then Peter turned around and saw the disciple whom Jesus loved, his half brother, if you will, who also had leaned on his breast at supper and said, "Lord, who is the one who betrays me?" John's the one that asked, who's the guy that's going to betray you amongst us? Peter, seeing the disciple that Jesus loved, said, "But Lord, what about this man?" Because Jesus had just told him that he was not going to enjoy the way he died. So now Peter wants to know, what about this guy? And Jesus said to him, "If I will that he remain till I come, what is that to you? Follow me." That's what this story is about. What does the way God treats somebody else, what are the gifts God gives somebody else? What are the trials or triumphs that one person goes through for the Lord over another person? What does that have to do with you? If you love the Lord, follow him. Do not be, and there's parables about this. That's what that whole parable about how much you get paid. The guys that got picked up at 6 o'clock in the morning getting paid the same as the guys that got picked up at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. People were griping about it. It doesn't matter how much work you put in, how long you work, or any of that. It doesn't matter what you go through. The payoff's the same. The job is the same. You follow Jesus. That's the whole chapter in a nutshell. Some of the guys got confused. It says that Jesus was, they were saying, well, John's never going to die. He did die of old age. But that's not what Jesus was saying. He was just simply saying, what difference does it make how each one of you die? To the one, I think that if John had asked him, he would have told him. Timothy asked, he would have told him. Or not, Thomas. If any of the disciples had have asked, well, how am I going to perish? He would have told them. But for one disciple to wonder how it was going to go for another disciple, it's none of their business. It's not something you're supposed to be worried about. That's what the chapter's about. And now y'all are way ahead of the game for everybody. See how what happens when you show up? Because what Jesus said, if I will that he remain till I come, what is that to you? What is it to you? Whether if I like to let him live until I return in my glory, what is that to you? If God grants physical immortality to another brother or sister in Christ, what does that have to do with your walk with Christ? Nothing. Does it make the other disciple or the other follower or the other whatever, does it make them more special than you? No. It just means that Jesus has something different for them than for what he has for you. It's simple. Each one of us has our own life. We're supposed to live our life to the Lord. That's it. And that's the job. Carol's driving back home from the laundromat. Oh, I need to go in there and change loads. Got the water back on, so trying to catch up on Monday. That's pretty much it. I will do it'll probably be a 30 or 40 minute video on the chapter. And I'll post it next couple of days. Now, that's probably what I'll do is start doing. I'll just pre-record the Bible studies. And then just do them as premieres from here on out. Hey, Mark, that's okay. You missed it. And that's just the way life is. No. I did a real quick summary because there was only two of us, and I was telling them that I'm going to do I'll do the long version, and I've been debating on whether or not to pre-record the Bible studies and just publish them like that. And I honestly think it would do as far as the Bible study goes, I think it would be better for the message. It's not exactly the live, but if I do them as a premiere, then I can do a live stream immediately after, and we can fellowship about it. We can discuss it. And I think it'll be a good deal. And no worries about being late. I mean, I know everybody's got a lot going on right now. I would think that everybody in the country would have a lot going on, considering the entire lower 48 was real solid. My daughter is here and she is cooking something that I've never eaten before, so we'll see how this goes. It's pretty good cooked though. Not terribly scared. Carol's chatting while driving with laundry in the car. So yeah, what do you think about that one? Think that's a good idea? Bad idea? Keep doing the live streams. I just don't. And this is gonna sound like I'm aiming it at you, but it's weird. It's like a lot of people have figured out that the preaching part lasts about 50 minutes, and people start showing up at about 45 minutes. And then we wind up chatting after, and yada yada yada. And I just to me that's the same as showing up for the church meal without going to church. That's just something you don't do in the South. Not unless you want people to talk about you. Anyway. Can y'all hear me? Yeah, I mean that's I understand religion. Well, there's a lot of people that really don't want to hear about God. There's just a lot. There's a lot of people that don't want to hear a doctrine outside of what they were raised. And if you're adhering to the doctrine of your church, I mean all of it. If you're living what you're preaching in your building, you're doing all you can do. The end. And I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with people practicing faith in the Most High God through Jesus Christ. I don't. Because that's what we're supposed to be doing. I feel bad for Jews because they don't. No, Jews a race, but you know, I feel sorry for anybody that doesn't acknowledge the Son of God because they don't get to go to heaven, and it's just that simple. Doesn't matter how good a person you are, how spiritual you are. If you don't give credit where credit is due, then you don't get there, and that's why I do this. I don't care if you do or don't eat bacon. I don't care if I don't care if you take Saturday or Sunday off or Monday off or Tuesday off or Wednesday. I don't care what day. As long as one day goes to the Lord. I wish truly that I was so positive that God had touched on my brain and made open all the wisdom of this book up to me. And that I knew as much about it as his son did. And that I could speak with absolute authority about it, which would make me capable of judging others. But I can't. Nobody on the planet can. And until I'm secure in judging other people, which I'm told not to, then I will not trash anybody for worshiping God. I won't. I just can't. It's just not in me. I could spend a lot of time talking about all the different sins and stuff. Because if you're in the intersection when the light turns red, you're not running the red light. That's why you never assume it's clear to go because you can see the light has turned yellow. A lot of people will push it. The end. State of Texas, it is not. It is considered a green light, or it is not considered a red light, or running a red light if you are in the intersection when it changes red to red. Now, if it changes red before you get to the intersection, it's running a red light. I don't ever try to push it that hard. Now, if you're far enough back to where you have to speed up to make it, chances are you should have stopped. But there's been wrecks here in this town from people trying to beat the yellow light when there's somebody waiting in the turning. The light turns yellow, so that people automatically assume that the person's going to stop just because they have time to, and they turn in front of people. So, to a degree. That's the other thing. People, they know that the light's going to turn green, and they don't slow. They're like, well, it'll turn green by the time I get there, so they don't slow down. And that's usually when bad things happen. Don't run up on a light just because you can see that it's fixed. And the other side turned yellow. It'll be no, slow down. It's personal responsibility. People don't want to do that. That's the thing that makes Christianity work. That's the thing that makes salvation possible is personal or accountability. And until people realize that, hey, I am responsible for me. What was it? If I will that he remain till I come, what is that to you? You follow me. Each one of us is supposed to do right. We're not supposed to worry about what the other people are doing. If we each do right, then it all works out. I guess C103 I don't talk to us no more. I guess you don't realize that the Bible study's over already, and then it's okay to talk. This will be revisited and published in a longer deal because there's a whole lot more to it than what I touched on. But it was at the 15-minute mark. There were only 2 people in here, so ish. So I did a very condensed thing just for them. I gave them a cheat sheet. Yeah, I think if I would start leaving the word Bible study out, it might work better. I'll start coming up with really cool descriptive titles for what the Bible study is actually going to be about. Hide. It was not. I knocked down a cup. I have no food for you. Oh, it's not Hyde. It's TK. I don't have anything for you either, Cat. Come here. Come here and say hi to everybody. Come here. Come here. You're begging. I am not. Cat wants me to take it to the kitchen, get it some milk. I ain't even do it. White cats. Oh, that smells horrible. Cat opened the door and now I can smell that food. It smells good. Anyhow, I may go live here again after a while. I don't know. Depends. Been missing my daughter and she's finally here, so I may just hang out with her. I've said this before. I mean, seriously.
Well, I mean, there's still like.
Yeah, but I was almost like just pour it in the little one.
Yay. Get into the habit of checking the mirror to see how that guy's doing, that person, that individual is doing. I think that's one of the things I miss about shaving is when I shave, I have to look myself in the face. So it's important. That's the only way you change the world. It's the only way to change the world is to change yourself. There are people that I watch on here. I'm going to get a little political here. There are a lot of individuals that I see their videos and I watch them. And I'm in a lot of live streams. And I hear people talking and this, that, and everything else. And there's a lot of big channels that are going to live streams and I just listen. I don't participate. Well, they're not realizing that they're part of the problem. there's a whole lot more to being patriotic than just wanting to make sure that you don't lose out on any of your liberties. A lot. There's a lot more to being a stand-up person than making sure that you are, having someone's back that has your back. There's just because there's a lot more to knowing everything than knowing what works for you. Some of the people say, no, this is the right way and every other way is wrong. And that's not true. What I can get away with, Carol can't get away with. What Robert Moore can get away with, I can't quite swing. Probably what C103 can get away with, I can't do. What the stuff that we all get away with, Abe can't get away with. And by that I mean, finances, available real estate, local economies. There's all these things that tie in and wrap up in this stuff. There's just because it's the perfect thing for you doesn't mean that every other idea is bad. And I hear channels bashing other channels all the time.
Yeah.
And it gets
The
old.
8 o'clock thing in the morning is the property value thing.
So,
Do I need to go listen to that?
so sorry. My wife's business is none of y'all's business. Anyway, so there's no channels. I mean, I actually have channel names that y'all don't know. I don't. I do have a trolling account. I don't troll with them, but that way I can go on. I can go over there on that YouTube account and I can just look. And people, if I do say something, then it can't be traced back to me or nothing. I don't do anything weird or whatever. But I'm just saying, there's a lot of people that are starting to make me question whether or not they're legitimately concerned about people or if their only concern is success. And there's warnings about that in the book too. You got to be seriously careful about the way you run your business. So, hey Sasquatch, I'm gonna, all y'all people that are here, I'm gonna end this. I'm gonna go double check on my daughter, make sure she doesn't need help or do anything, and then I will probably fire up another live stream, and we'll talk about cheery prepping and homesteading and stuff like that, as opposed to me being aggravated with people's behavior. Okay, so I will stay on here long enough to read this joke first. And then I'll get off. If they're doing it. Tell them the jokes, Sasquatch. That's not funny. Sorry, Aiden, I didn't mean to laugh at that.
We even went a page up and a page down from the page number. Like one of them said page 491.
I got to get off here till she gets off that call, guys.
We just pulled up the list and it was like 500.
Love y'all. I will see y'all back on here in a little bit.